Let's quickly look at talents and some of my favorites. So depending on what class you're building, a lot of these are going to be very specific to what you need. All skilled up, I don't think is going to be that huge, but it's a great bonus at the beginning of the game because it gives you an extra point in wherever you want. So leadership, sneaking. If you want leadership 4, the only way you can accomplish this other than gear is with all skilled up. It gives you a bonus civil and combat ability. Far Out Man. Far Out Man gives you that 2 meters extra when you're using scrolls, when you're using spells. Not skills, spells. It depends on what it is. I know for a fact that if you were... I don't have a dwarf. Like, I don't think the fire is affected. The lizard's fire is not affected by it. 7 meters is quite far. Let's confirm it since we're here doing this. This spell is about 7... well, apparently 8 meters range to the tip. If I give him Far Out Man, does not affect this skill. Some skills that are being affected is spells, like Fortify. Now it's hard to see because, okay, with my increased range, 26 meters. Now, wow. 26 meters. Height advantage is huge. Height advantage will make larger battlefields, which I think is going to be amazing if they can find larger battlefields. Like, larger fights, more incoming enemies, respawning. Gonna be so good, I think, if they can do it properly. Or the enemy has height advantage, and then you have to be careful. Maybe sneak in combat. Use a smoke grenade. Alright, I was about here. So, without that 2 meters, there's a bit of a difference. See, 21. So, it does scale that Far Out Man even more. Well, that is pretty far, I must admit. But if you look going uphill, you're only getting so far. Or even same, you're getting 12 meters. 13 meters. If I get that Far Out Man, you get that increase. And even now I got a bit of height advantage going there, so I get even farther. So depending on what your class you're building, just remember it's spells. The dwarf's touch, like the petrify from the dwarf, petrifying touch, whatever it's called, does get affected by that touch spell. All your touch spells are huge for that because usually they're only about 3 meters. It's almost like melee range-ish. You throw in some Far Out Man in there, and you can hit, like, you can even get some more height advantage, like if you're standing on a platform, and actually hit probably like 6, 7, 8 meters. So it's pretty handy. Yeah, I've used it in combat sometimes. People are like, how did you use, like, electrifying touch? How did you use that from there? I'm like, height advantage. Like, there's like a 9 meter shot. Pretty good. Human Resolve is your basic one. It gives you +1 leadership if you're human. Only available to human, and you get it if you create a human. Ingenious, same thing. All classes have something basic to their racial perk. Ingenious is +2 to wits, +3 crit chance. So that's probably like +5 crit chance, because the wit will also increase your crit chance. So that's pretty good for a rogue, like really good for a rogue. Then you have elegant for, so finesse for elves, and sophisticated is intelligence for lizards. The other one is for dwarves is strength. I'm not sure what it's called. Corpse Eater for elves, so they can eat corpse and get the memories off the bodies. Spell Song for lizards, which gives them better persuasion, which is actually really good now, in my opinion. Now we're to the alphabetical portion. Arrow recovery, third of a chance to recover the arrow you just used. Arrows are not that scarce. I would probably skip this one unless you really use arrows all the time. Could be handy, but it's very RNG because you might use it and not get it back. So if you have 10 arrows, you might get 3 back. In theory. You know, maybe 4. You're lucky, you know? So I wouldn't use it unless you're using arrows non-stop. I think you'll have enough other ways to do CC and have your ranger be effective without arrow recovery. But we'll see. We can't get that far into the game. There's much better talents available in the alpha right now, especially early game. This could be an end game perk, but by then you'll probably be crafting your own arrows or buying them. It shouldn't be a big deal. Backstabber. If you're playing a rogue, you're gonna need Backstabber. Without Backstabber, you're just gonna do normal hits in his back, and that's basically what the rogue is good for, is those backstabs. You know, you get those the vault, which you jump behind them. You're already behind them. Start doing backstabs, guaranteed crits, more damage. Good to go. Bigger, better, you get 2 attribute points to spend. That could be good, depending on your build and what you need. I mean, that's an extra memory right there. By using bigger and better, you get an extra memory slot. Could prove handy. Comeback Kid. I've not used that one much in the alpha. If you have a character that typically is the one taking all the hits, that might die because he's, I don't know, there's going to be taunt, I'm assuming, later on. They come back to life with one hit. It might save you a scroll. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think it's going to be better perks than this. Although, incompatible with Leech. Well, Leech gives you health when you bleed and stuff, and it used to be pretty powerful because you would bleach that, because you just died, massive pool of blood, and you soak up that health, and you're back to like a good amount of health when you came back to life. This only procs what? When you have more than one health, that's why. Because then if you took that tick of Leech, you would come back to life and then be invincible because you would always have a bit of health. So you would never truly die. Escapist. That's really good because when the enemies are right next to you, you can still escape. So honor mode, I would definitely recommend having one character at least with Escapist. Fire Out Man, we covered 2 meters, and be a lot better than you assuming. It's always there. It's not like maybe I'll get 2 meters extra. No, you're getting 2 meters extra range. So I like perks that are not too RNG, that they're more or less concrete. 5-star dinner doubles the effect of food. So do we have any food? I have a leg. Oh, an apple. So the apple gave me heal 10%, so probably heal 20%. Poison resistant would then be 10%. And the duration of food buffs got increased quite a bit. So it actually may be worth it when you start cooking up some meals. Like this steak, I don't know if I'll get, it's raw. I might get a debuff. Yeah, I got a debuff from it for 2 turns. But still, because it was raw meat, not cooked meat, I actually got Constitution -1. But healing 15, so you get 30% healing. And well, I don't know, in this case, Constitution -2, maybe. But if you had cooked meat, it would be better. Which those are all going to be, those are going to be better once the game fully releases and the crafting system is more in depth. Glass Cannon, I'm not sure about this one. I don't think I like it. It does give you more AP, so you can get a lot more hits in, which is handy. So if you're trying to push out damage, but your armor means nothing. If somebody does CC on you, you're getting crowd controlled. You're getting stunned. You're getting knocked down. So I'd be very careful with this one, other than maybe a ranger, because your ranger is always going to be really far away. I don't know how I feel. Maybe your rogue if you can exploit the stealth, but I really hope they nerf the stealth, personally. Hothead, really good for a ranged character. I mean, 10% crit chance increase. It could be good for a rogue, but you have to be at max health. You have to be topped up 100%. And 20% more accuracy. It's really good for a ranger if you have to spend some points in wit, because that's your wit character. You know, looking up for the treasures and stuff. I like it, but you have to be careful with it because, well, mainly you have to be careful because you have to be full health for it to work. But I usually use on my ranger, and then I use Flesh Sacrifice. So with Flesh Sacrifice, my health went down quite a bit. She has 67 health because and it scales. The higher level you are, the more Constitution is taken. So my health went down quite a bit, and now just to get the Hothead, I am full health, so it does work. But then I lost 1/3 of my HP. One hit, like, you're dead. So you do have to be careful. Leech. It does work. Don't expect massive amounts of healing. The nice thing is, for example, she has movement of 7 almost, or 6. But then with other skills that can get that increased, and that's early level, you'll probably get more movement speed. If you were to make a puddle of blood, you can walk in combat. So let's say 1 AP, 7 meters is like here. So you can walk like a little bit, walk a little bit back. You just pace around that blood, like let's say blood rain, and you can get a really significant heal with 1 AP. Great. But it's not, when you're getting hit and the blood falls, you're not getting HP back. And with zombie, it does not pair with zombie. You will not bleed poison, which could be cool. Alright, now morning person, when resurrected, resurrect to full health. I don't think it works with Comeback Kid. I'd have to try it out, but that I mean, it's almost impossible to do in the alpha because if you do it, you're not getting anything else. You're not going to be an effective character. It's just more or less for theory crafting. Pet Pal. Pet Pal is really good. There's a lot of hidden quests, a lot of animals you can talk to. And apparently, a lot of people that are cursed. They were cursed by a certain enemy, and they are not really animals. They're just humans that got put into this form. So, really good, I'd say. At least one character should have this. It opens up a lot of quests. And a lot of information, also. Typically, a rat near a puzzle will be able to help you solve that puzzle. Picture of health. 3% for every point in warfare. You know, like, if you're putting a lot of points in warfare, so like the warrior here, and we do picture of health, sure, I can see it, then you're probably gonna end up getting 15% more HP. Not terrible. It's definitely doable. Savage Sortilege. This is really good when paired with Rage. Rage gives you a 100% crit chance. We'll cover skills another day. That is like really, really good with it. Is it gives you your pyromancies, basically that's who you would use it with, or your mage, just 50% more crit with those spells because your spells can crit at half your rate. You can actually have a higher rate because I think your crit chance would increase by 100%, not just go to 100%. So it'd be really handy for a crit mage. Slingshot. I don't know, 5 extra meters for grenades. That sounds pretty cool. I mean, she has a grenade, and you also get the height advantage. So you add 5 meters to this, like you're throwing that grenade super far. There's no plus or minus on your left and right, or back and forth. It goes wherever you toss it. If I want to toss it right on her, it's going to go right on the NPC. There's no more spread to your grenades. So add 5 meters, man, you're a football star. Like, it's just really good. But only on the one character that's going to be designated for grenades mostly. Which I don't think I have typically. It's like my warrior, my rogue, when they can't reach stuff. They're not typically very good with range. Warriors are really good at mobility, so maybe your rogue could use the grenades. Mainly for CC. Or somebody wants to, you don't have a mage, you want to throw in that fire grenade when oil got spread and everything. Could be handy. Just make sure you get that range in. The pawn, one of my favorite. I mean, I think almost everyone should get this. You get 1 free AP movement per turn. It says at the start of their turn. It's throughout your turn. The first time you move in that turn, you get 1 free AP of movement. That's huge for all classes. Let's say your ranger's just not in line of sight. Like, where's the bile? Let's say she's trying to hit. Oh, the trees are not blocking me. Well then, let's say there's an enemy like right here behind that. And you want to move, but you don't want to lose the AP that you do have for that move. You move at like a 5 right now. You probably move right here, and boom, you see them. Huge, because that's every turn. That is truly a great perk for almost every class. Your warrior can then move up and hit someone, especially if he's already in melee. What ends up happening a lot in melee, you'll be like, so you're here, you have to move to hit this person. Well, that's 3 AP right there. Was the pawn? Nope. That free hit. Then you want to move back to her? Well, then she's too close, but you get the idea. Then that 1 AP is still good. It's not just your first move, it's your first AP worth of moving. And if you consider that you're getting 5 meters, that's really good when you're up close and personal. Walk it off. I've never really used this because it also has a negative to it. So it reduces all status duration by 1 turn, which I found that most of them are 1 turn anyway. If you get knocked down, stunned, sometimes 2 turns. But you also lose all the benefits. So I don't know what else would be a benefit. But like right now, I don't have anybody that still has a point. Do I? Okay, yes. So if I take walk it off, and I use the bedroll, for example. Okay, no, the bedroll is the same. Okay, okay, healing? What do you have, heals? 2 turns. No, that's the same. Food? Maybe the tooltip is wrong? Okay, let's give this to Sabile. 6 turns. Okay, maybe the tooltip is wrong. What if I knock down her ass? Or cripple? Cripple her ass. I can't! Oh my god. Burning? Still 2 turns. Bleeding? 1 turn. Alright, bleeding is 1 turn. So maybe it's better than it lets on, because those positive buffs, like the healing, is still 2 turns. What about armor? 3 turns. Okay. Something is not right in the tooltip, so this may actually be good. Me and Jordan were talking about it. It does not affect positive statuses. Maybe some, but right now, I don't have any other ones to test out. It doesn't seem... Okay. Let's see. What about her blood? 3 turns. So... yeah. I think it's still viable then. If it doesn't get changed. It might get changed. I don't know. But that's kind of interesting. Warlord. Yes. Another one of my favorites. Especially if you play on a smaller group scale. I would only get it with the characters that you're actually doing damage with. You're doing kill shots. Your rogue. Maybe a ranger. If you have a pyromancer, definitely. Even a warrior. A 2-handed warrior can dish out some serious damage. Every time you kill something, you get 2 extra action points on that character. If you put down a puddle with your pyromancer, and an enemy walks through it, you get a bonus 2 AP on your next turn. Can be huge. Like, you could do so many attacks in 1 turn. You have to be careful though on a mage, because you can run out of spells, and then you're left with just like your staff or your wand. So you could basically just you can blow your load really early on a mage, and then you're like, well, what do I do now? I have 3 turns of no cooldowns. On a rogue, you could just keep going, just keep backstabbing, and since your move speed is really nice in between targets, you can do some serious damage. Same with a warrior, because your melee ability is still gonna be really strong, especially with that axe that you get from the vendor here, in the undead vendor in the game right now. Ah man, you can just keep killing and killing stuff. Very good. And there's a lot of abilities that cost 1 AP, so you kill someone with a 1 AP shot, you got 2 back. Really handy. What a rush. What a rush. If you go below 30% health, you increase your recovery and maximum action points by 1. That 1 action point, sure, can allow you to go stealth or something. You can move, maybe. But, I don't know. At 30% health... like, is that every turn? I don't know. I don't typically go to 1% health, or 30% health. So, if I do, I heal. I don't stay there. That's really risky. Could be good, but... Zombie. I already made a full video on the zombie. I posted it yesterday. Garbage. Total garbage. Avoid at all costs. You'd lose so much for just a little gain. Not worth it. You lose your healing by all means. Food, potions, your bedroll will kill you. Your necromancy will kill you. So you're not draining life, you're losing life for every hit you do. Avoid zombie right now. It may get patched, I don't know. Demon, I don't really use it. No, it depends on what you're fighting. 15% fire resistance, sure, but you lose 15, so I don't really like... although you could start regenerating from fire, so if you have enough fire gear, instead of just being immune, you can start healing from fire. So it'd be interesting, but that's going to be end game stuff, probably. Like, by the time you get that fire resist gear. Same thing with Ice King, it's the opposite. I don't see the, I guess, Lightning King, whatever it was. Lightning Rod. So you'd be immune to stun. It's not there anymore. Maybe they're going to add more. I'm not sure. Gorilla, if you're playing a rogue, really handy. A ranger, especially. You want to sneak that snipe shot in there and do like 600% damage now instead of like 400%. Huge. Huge. Ice King, yep. 1-man army. The old lone wolf. But this works differently. You could have a 3-man party. You could have a 2-man party or by yourself. I don't really know what that does. a scaling bonus in vitality stats. That's it. That would be really good for a hybrid character, I would say. But I don't know if you get any bonuses at all if you still use 4 characters. So that's going to be left to testing. You can kind of check it out if you get to level 8 at the end. But then you can't fight. Because you've killed everything if you're at level 8, pretty much. Unless I missed so many quests. There's a few quests I've missed. I don't think you can get to level 9. So that may have to be tested in the next version, like in a future patch. Speed Creeper, really good if you move around the field in stealth. Other than that, you don't increase your movement speed. Oh, maybe you do. He has... Oh, but you can't get it because sneaking 2. Yeah, and I can't because she has thievery 3. Anybody have 2 points? Nope. 1. I need a dwarf for it to work right now. But I don't think it increases out of combat. I think it's more or less your AP value in combat. Now, I know this was a lot of information. Thank you all for watching. This is going to be cut down, or by the time you guys watch it, it's going to be cut down in like 3 or 4 guides. 4 guides. Really appreciate the support. Hope it was useful. Hope it answered some of your questions. If you have more, feel free to ask. This is why I'm spending the time in this game, to be able to help you guys out. There's a lot of information, a lot to take in. The game is amazing. The best tactical RPG to date. Like, hands down. On that, have a great night. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a great night, everyone.